Hello and welcome to the Silver Division recap for Week 4 of the Yukon Nintendo Club Draft League. This week, we're getting to the point in the season, right, where it's a little harder to make sure the recaps are entirely fresh, right? I've covered most people. I've had a game before, right? Like this game, we have Katherine Mooney up against Aidan Kelly, the Pandemic Pichus. And yeah, I've covered most people, and what I really try to do is, I know we covered a Katherine game last week, but I try to avoid some things at least, right? Like doing people over and over again, or try to avoid maybe showing two of a person's losses, right? I don't want to feel like we're dunking on anybody. But yeah, so I know we're doing two Katherine games in a row, but yeah, this one's at least a little different than last week's, and we haven't covered any of Aidan Kelly's games, so I figured now would be a good a time as any to get one in here. Yeah, let's get right into it without spoiling anything. All right, so our battle begins. Very interesting matchup here. I'm curious what the Levanny's going to do. We see Dragapult come out from Aidan, very solid lead, good against a lot of stuff except for Marina here, which is pretty bad against, but most other stuff. Levanny comes out, so as a lead Levanny, I'd probably expect Sticky Webs. Kind of its thing. We see the Fire Blast come out from Aidan, certainly doing a lot of damage. Thankfully, Katherine was prudent enough to give her Levanny a sash. We see the Sticky Web come out. Nice to lay the foundation. Could be useful. I would say, though, it's mainly for Verzion, right? Because most of Aidan's other stuff is a wall, kind of, or maybe immune to Sticky Webs, like Clear Body, Dragapult, or like Charizard until it Mega Evolves since it's flying. We see Primarina coming. Great switch into Dragapult, but Dragapult actually read that, going for the Thunderbolt to finish off Levanny, just in case Primarina came in, and that obviously paid off, getting some nice chip on Primarina there, but still has to U-turn and run away. Aidan clearly not fearing a Scarf from Primarina, which is fair, because Dragapult, I think, can be made faster than the Scarf, or just, yeah, anyway. So we see the Moonblast come out, does nothing to Registeel. Registeel has such monstrous special defense or defense, whichever you really want it to have. And clearly this is a special defense invested Registeel by how little that did. See the flip turn come out from Primarina, very nice momentum. Let's see what Katherine goes for into Registeel, maybe a Landorus or a Urshifu. Nope, but we see Porygon 2. Interesting choice. I don't think I would have done it personally, just because I think you'd rather go Landorus or Urshifu, things that threaten Registeel with a strong power. And as we see, right, Registeel goes right for the Toxic, which is much more devastating to Porygon 2 than it would have been for Landorus or Urshifu, because Porygon 2 is really defensive, so it hates having its ability to kind of stall being chipped away by Toxic, and it can't Toxic back Registeel. So the Protect come out. This Registeel is just brutal today, just refusing to take any damage whatsoever. It's already back to 99%, and you know what? Even if that Thunderbolt hit, I doubt it was going to do much of anything to the Registeel. Let's see. Yeah, in terms of, again, if I was Katherine, Landorus or Urshifu is what's on my mind right now. Get this Porygon 2 out of here. It's not doing anything. But sadly, Katherine keeps it on the field, does some Thunderbolts, really not doing any damage to Registeel, letting it get Stealth Rock. This is kind of hard to watch. This poor Porygon 2 just can't catch a break against this Registeel, it would seem. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see what happens. So Registeel, so Porygon 2 finally switches out. Nice Urshifu here, very threatening position against Registeel. With close combat or surging strikes, we'll ignore the protect we saw. Registeel getting a very nice read with that Toxic. That is really unfortunate. Everything has gone perfect from this I mean, good to go on Aidan, certainly, for making the right reads every turn and just really keeping the pressure on Katherine. We see the Protect come out. A bit of a misstep from Aidan, perhaps, because Urshifu's ability, as we know, Unseen Fist, can break, protect, and it does. So I guess, okay, I guess Aidan was due there, because he had a really nice streak of turns of doing, like, everything spot on. But then, yeah, we do see Urshifu finally come around. At least Katherine catches a little break, being able to deal a lot of that damage to Registeel with no recourse from Registeel whatsoever. We see Dragapult come out. Now Urshifu may got a luck, right, because we went for close combat. Again, no damage. Maybe if Katherine switched up. Very wise move from Katherine, switching up to U-turn. I love to see that. Getting the momentum on the predicted switch. And that was risky, too, because that wouldn't have done anything to Registeel. So I really do respect that. I guess the Dragapult isn't Clear Body, which is interesting. So I guess that's good for Katherine, that that she can get the webs on Dragapult. But we see the Ditto come out and then leave, which is interesting. Ditto's usually Choice Scarf to check, so I don't know why I would do that. Maybe he was expecting a switch from the Dragapult, and we do see a switch from the Dragapult, so fair enough. Obviously afraid of the Scarf. And I guess, was Katherine calling that with Landorus? Bringing out... Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Sorry, I'm having trouble parsing that out today. So we see the Landorus come out with Defog. Probably good. I don't know if that's worth it to get rid of the rocks. Maybe we want to keep Levanny alive, right? Because it can get the webs later. So I think that might be worth it. I'm not sure about the play with Defog. And especially getting punished with a burn. I don't think I love this Landorus versus Weezing thing in general. Which is unfortunate, but I get wanting to get the defog, but the burn is really not worth it. That could really hurt Landorus later. Though, as I think, with Registeel so weakened, maybe it's not a big deal. But yeah, that's unfortunate. We see the Levanny come out, not able to get webs back, right? Weezing just takes it right out. I don't know if that was Katherine being overzealous or just trying to sack, But in terms of having things against that are good against Wheezing, I guess her options are actually pretty limited now that I think about it. With Porygon 2 toxic like this, and Wheezing's at full health, which means you can't finish it off yet. Like, yeah, there's not a lot good for Wheezing, which is really unfortunate. So you see Porygon 2 get some healing. Okay. I hope Katherine's learned her lesson about Registeel, certainly, and is ready to just switch to something else, because even with this low health on the Registeel, Porygon 2 is not going to make much progress here, and Registeel, you can bet, is going to spit out some rocks here. Goes with a Thunderbolt. I don't like it. Because of the leftovers and the Protect, it'll just get that health back. See the Stealth Rock. This Registeel is giving me anxiety here. Just watching it just to consistently dunk on this Porygon 2. It's a sad sight. But I think Katherine probably, gives up the Ghost, brings up the Landorus, who is now burned, unfortunately, but it can still defog against this Registeel. Earthquake should still do good damage, considering where Registeel is, but it gets a nice fat Seismic Toss, chipping right into Landorus and saying its days are numbered. I'm really curious. I think we're going to see the Protect from Registeel here, right? Why wouldn't we get the burn damage on Landorus, whatnot? Yep, we see the Protect come out. Landorus probably going for a Defog, maybe an Earthquake just to take it out. We see the Earthquake. Sadly, neither will work against the Protect, Defog, or Earthquake, so there's no real right move there, unless this Landorus is going to whip out Swords Dance all of a sudden. Very unfortunate. I think it'll go for the Defog again. No, it'll go for the Earthquake, right? Because if it defogs, just keep setting them. The Leasing comes back with its Levitate, right? It's probably going to Earthquake into nothing here. Oh, nice U-turn. Again, good prediction from Katherine. Katherine's U-turn reads are on point here. I don't really like Life Orb with U-turn because the kind of chip you take there, but that's just me. I would consider that one of my small rules of Pokemon. Not a big rule necessarily. Like, don't switch into super effective attack. That's a big rule. But it's one of my small rules is don't mix momentum moves like Volt Switch, Life Orb, those with like Volt Switch and U-turn. Don't mix them with Life Orb if you can. If you absolutely need to, then sure, but like generally try to avoid it. We see Sludge Bomb. I think Sludge Bomb, like copying Ditto into Wheezing here, just shows how desperate Katherine is here. I don't think it's a bad move, because again, her options against Wheezing are pretty bad at the moment, and I do think coming into Ditto to get a Sludge Bomb isn't the worst thing she could have done there. The only problem is now Registeel comes out, and she may be locked into Sludge Bomb, assuming that's a Choice Scarf, which Ditto often are, and that's very unfortunate. Registeel, this is, again, the wonder of Registeel. It's been climbing its health back up with Leftovers and Protect, even though it doesn't have an actual recovery move, just because it's so bulky. Yeah, we see the Landorus come out. That's just more free recovery for Registeel, because Landorus is just going to die here. Katherine's sacking it to get something in without taking a Seismic Toss, which makes sense. I guess Urshifu would be the same thing to bring in here, right? I would imagine, just because we saw before it can do the damage you need to do to Registeel. Yeah, but with Aidan's whole team healthy, this isn't looking very good for Katherine. So we see Urshifu come out. The problem is Aidan has a lot he can go to. He can go to Dragapult, he can go to Wheezing, he can go to Milotic even, who hasn't been touched, I believe. So this Urshifu has a lot of pressure on it. Surging Strike's the right move at the right time, but unfortunately... Oh, good, thank goodness. Okay, so Katherine's Protective Pad, so she's not going to go down to Rocky Helmet. With very good item to bring on Urshifu in general for draft, just because Rocky Helmet will just take it down half your health if you're not careful. And now this Wheezing can finally go away. So I'm glad to say Katherine could at least get a kill on the board before this finished. And maybe there will be more, but the odds are looking a little against her, certainly with that Milotic at full health. Registeel crawling its way back up. Virizion and Charizard still locked and loaded, ready to go. No damage on them. It's kind of this Urshifu against the world, really, but we'll see. Primarina would certainly be in a much more promising position if Registeel had been weakened more and Virizion wasn't at full health. So that's not the world we live in. So we see Virizion come out. Very interesting. I wonder if it go for a Soar, things like just a Leaf Blade. With Primarina coming out, the Leaf Blade certainly wouldn't be bad, but we'll see what it goes for. Goes for the Leaf Blade. Yep, like I said, good enough, right? One more type to another, not bad. I don't exactly... I mean, Katherine's on the ropes here, so I'm not going to criticize anything they do too harshly, because it's like, there's no good moves to be made, you know. So we see Ditto come out. Not a bad bring in here. Maybe get a close combat on the opponent Virizion. Maybe, hopefully, you can finish off with Porygon 2, maybe. We'll see. Goes right for the Soar stance. A little greedy, I would say. I know Virzion's lacking in power, but unfortunately, there's no chance Katherine was going to be able to live anything with a Ditto health Virizion at that low health. Like, no. But, so yeah. So, unfortunately, Aidan just takes it out. With his own Virizion, Urshifu comes out being slower than Virizion. This is probably it for Urshifu as well. Maybe get an Aqua Jet for some chip, but nope, not even that, unfortunately. So yeah, Virizion, this looks like it's the end. I mean, we'll be fair, Porygon 2 is very bulky. Virizion's not that strong, it's not boosted here, so there's a chance Porygon 2 maybe whip out an Ice Beam, maybe crit, take out this Virizion. But yeah, I think this is the end for Katherine. It's just a matter of how exactly. Because another close combat, maybe a nice beam, yeah, would do the trick. Oh, but we see the Z move come out from Virizion, and that will definitely do the trick. Just enough power, probably take out Porygon 2. Even with Virzion's lackluster attack stat. Yep. That will take Porygon 2 right out. Virizion really cleaning house in the end. Not so much to give credit to Virizion, because I think like a lot of the Pokemon could have done that. But still very cool to see a Pokemon like Virizion that's not even that strong being positioned in a way where its low attack stat can still sweep up in the end game with its coverage and high speed. Its bulk also serving a good role there, though ironically it didn't get hit by an attack, but still helpful in the sense that Katherine knew it was bulky and knew that just overpowering it wouldn't be very viable, but then that gave Virizion even more leeway from her going for, like, say, Swords Dance just to keep attacking and keep taking out Pokemon. Very cool game. A little one-sided for Aidan. But Katherine certainly had her shining moments. I really like that Urshifu against the Registeel through the Protect. That really abusing that moment. Registeel is... Virzion's the MVP in terms of killing stuff, actually, but now I actually watched this game. Registeel just did so amazingly this game, really capitalizing on Porygon 2, healing so much of its health back, just torturing Katherine's team alive. I almost want to say Registeel is the real MVP. I mean, again, I feel like I'm always trying to discount Virizion. I'm not trying to. Virizion did excellent here, but I'm also saying Registeel did really well. Also, I'm like surprised. I mean, Registeel always does well, but that was like surprising how good it did there. And Virizion cleaning up in the end, also very nice. Yeah, Katherine did pretty good though. It's just one of those things where 5 Pokemon left doesn't always really tell how well the battle was fought. Certainly, but still a very cool battle. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll see you next week for the final week. Get excited for playoffs, guys. It's a coming. Yeah, all right. Catch you next time.